Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Chiller Easton here as we're getting ready to bring you our 6th game here at Chiller Easton, as this one will be the Cougars going up against the North Dakota State Bison. The Cougars coming, of course, from Assiniboine University, or Assiniboine College. These two teams are getting ready to open up their pool play. Let's go ahead and turn it over to the public address announcers for the introduction to the starting lineups and the national anthem. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just about time to drop the puck here between the Assiniboine Cougars and the North Dakota State Bison. Really looking forward to this matchup here. Our 6th and final game here at Chiller Easton in the Division II Women's ACHA National Tournament. They are in pool play, so you're going to hear a lot about these 12 teams just kind of rotating out through the first 3 days before they get to the national semifinals and national championship Saturday and Sunday. Those games will be back at the Heise House. Starting goaltenders in this game, Bridget Slater will get the start for the North Dakota State Bison. Bridget's got an 8-7-1 record on the year. She's got a 2.17 goals against average and a save percentage of 9.34. Meanwhile, the Assiniboine College Cougars, they will start Brooklyn Alec. She has a 10-5 record, a 1.26 goals against average, 5 shutouts on the season, and a 9.36 save percentage. The two teams will break their little pregame huddle, and now they're going to head over to center ice here for the opening face-off of this one. Looking forward to this game between these two squads. All the games here at the Easton Center have been fantastic hockey today. Hope you've enjoyed them on the ACHA Network on YouTube. And we are underway in our 6th and final game from Chiller Easton as it's going to roll on back and come on in deep is Mariah McHugh. Now they look to stretch on through the middle. A little bit of a stick lift there, and it's going to be just tipped down the boards further by Blair Bodie. They move in, a shot save, and the rebound is loose, and it's going to be held by Slater, and an early rush for the Cougars, and a good opportunity there. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, yeah, got him. Ensuing face-off, going to come out to center ice, and it's going to be flipped right back in. Now down low it goes. Taking... Excuse me, sorry, just getting a little feedback here. We got that all worked out. We're all set and good to play on here as it's going to roll on down into the Cougars' end. They will drift on back and take a look over the play. Reversing flow into the far side corner. Now the Cougars look to break it out, and on the backhand, they're going to do that to Blair Bodie. Bodie with speed, gaining the line on the right-hand side. She'll look, pull to the middle. There's a shot, and it's going to two-hop right in front of the netminder Slater, who just puts it over into the far side corner. Spinorama play gets it out to center ice, and that was done by Logan Cohn. Good job by her to get it down. Not enough for icing. So the Cougars will come on back and play it, and that's Alyssa Alderson. Didn't get out, though, on a clearing attempt. Second effort will. And at center ice, the Bison are going to spank it in. This is going to be a delayed offside call, though, so the Bison had to touch up, which they do. This is going to give the Cougars an opportunity to clear it. It gets as far as center ice, and back to get it will be number 6 in black, Gabrielle Johnson. Cougars are in black jerseys with, looks like greenish trim and white lettering. Meanwhile, Assiniboine, I guess, I don't know, would that be a maroonish color as the trim with a white jersey? Puck played around to the top of the circle, thrown on towards the cage, missed the net, and as it was quickly played by Lothspeech. A touch pass later, and it's out at center ice. Maybe a 2-on-2 forming. It was in the skates of a player, but a good job to kick it up to her forehand. I believe that was Kara Sullivan on the far side, but she'll peel off for a change as her mates start coming on. 4 fresh skaters as the last one peels off. Puck to the middle, and it's going to be nicely cleared away, though, by Quintus. Chopped back in further. Or excuse me, it was cleared away by Collier. As we do 2 aside, battling down below. Swinging centering pass, didn't get through. Bison now look to go to their offense here. There's a centering pass. It's loose out of the cage. They bang away at it. It's going to come out to the other side, and quickly the Cougars bring it on back the other way. Full speed ahead comes the Cougars. Tip on in over the line, and it's going to be followed up by Brooke Mead, and it's going to end up rolling right on goal, and Bridget Slater will hold. We will have an offensive zone face-off coming up for the Cougars on a nice end-to-end rush there, but Slater was up to the task, holding that one to the near side post. Off the draw, they squirm for it right in the face-off dot. It's going to be controlled and flipped in further by the Cougars. They look to set it up as they motion it to the middle. There's a shot that got blocked and went to the side of the cage. Allison Hansen now will look to bring it out for the Bison. Hansen used the near side wall. Not a lot of room there, and unable to catch up to it was Dorf. So now we come back the other way. The Cougars had it poked off, and now on second effort, it's followed up by Parento. Parento in, Deeks forehand, backhand, and a rising shot just over the bar. Great opportunity there for Sierra Parento. 17 goals on the regular season, paced this Cougar squad, and we can see why with that first really good move. And there's a drive and a save made by Slater, as she was able to glove that one off and hold it to her midsection. Shots on goal early on, 3-1 in favor of the home team, the team in white, the Assiniboine College Cougars, North Dakota State Bison. Assiniboine is 3 in the West, North Dakota State 4 in the West. So that's why they get the higher seed. And the higher seed, what that really does provide is really two things. One, what color jersey you wear, and two, it gives you last change. And that is probably the biggest benefit of all. Also in the face-off circle, I know there's something between, I believe the whole road team has to set their stick down first. So a couple nice little benefits there of being a higher seed in a tournament like this. The Cougars right back in over the line with it. They throw it through to the middle. Nobody home there as Alyssa Alderson was trying to find somebody in front. That didn't connect. Turned over right at the blue line, but still able to spike it out to center was the Bisons. A fan down outlet pass there didn't work, but then it was turned right back over, and Alderson will bring it in. Looks to the low of the shoulder and get wide. Now she's at the bottom of the circle and fires it around. Picked up on the far side of the net by Blight. She tried to drop it back to the point, kind of get a cycle game going, and it's going to end up rolling all the way down to Alderson behind her cage. She quickly had to play it away from Ellick. To the point, held in for a moment by Hansen. And it's now in deep, and a rising shot just went over the bar, and North Dakota State with their best chance. That was off the stick of Rachel Dorff. The Cougars look. They tried the near side, didn't like it, so they go far side. Outlet pass, knocked down. Stabbing it in further there was going to be Logan Cone. Now looking for a little bit of room on the Cougars. Trying to get wide, a nice little chip off the boards, and Kenzie Heidi will go in after it. Two aside do battle below the goal line. They joust away, scrumming, kicking, stick lifting. Finally it comes away. Cougars on a centering pass, redirected on, and it's fought off twice by Slater. Good job Mike Collier to get the redirection towards the cage. Puck's gonna be cleared around, and it's gonna go out of play, offside. Or excuse me, he's gonna go out of play, so an offensive zone face-off coming up here. Just a little bit past the 5-minute mark here. No score between the Bison and the Cougars. Face-off's going to be controlled, and it's just going to roll to the netminder as it's going to be grabbed by Slater. And we'll get a whistle on a face-off upcoming again. Let's do it again here in the near side circle. This is the right wing circle in the offensive end for the Cougars. There's a shot on, and that's nicely stuck away. Corralling it in and trying to make a move here was Bryn Fisher. She couldn't get out. Look out here. Could be a 3-on-1 and tight, and that shot just missed on the short side. It works down low. Try to center it. That was blocked off. Follow-up comes, and we're going to get a hooking call. It's going to be an early power play opportunity here. But first, they move in, and a shot. I beg your pardon, and a save was made. But a hooking call upcoming, and an early power play opportunity coming up here for the Cougars. Hooking call is going to go to number 16. That is Mary Carmen Prequez. And time of this penalty is going to be the 5-minute and 34-second mark. So a power play will go to work here. Moving along the line is Alderson. She'll fire one in from the point, and an early power play goal has put the Cougars on top by a score of 1-0. Pretty simple work there. You take win the face-off, you move to the middle, you fire the shot on goal. And through traffic, it may have redirected. We'll wait for the official goal call. It was definitely let go by Alderson at the point. And just that quickly, it didn't take long at all. A whole 8 seconds into the power play, it is now 1-0 in favor of the Cougars. Puck at center, going to be shot on in to the Cougar end now. They got to get back defensively. They look to move it on through, and they could have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Trying to cut that play off, and a nice little cutoff there by Dorff to make sure that 3-on-2 kind of died right there. They work it back to the point. Alderson again, and that's a glove save, and the rebound. Looking behind her, a save was made. So they're going to say it was redirected in front by Anderson on the shot let go by Alderson. That's not going to be confusing at all. But less concerned about who, more concerned about team here, and it's a 1-0 lead. That puck's going to be too far for any of the Bison to get, and this should be a pretty easy icing play as Kenzie Eide got back for the touch. And with 13:32 to go in the first period, we'll move the faceoff back on down into the Bison defensive end. Again, good play, a face-off victory, a point shot, and a redirection. It's really good power play stuff. High slot deflection is where it looked like it came from. Simple work there. Point shot with traffic. I mean, you're going to hear it at all levels of hockey. You've heard it a lot during this tournament if you've been tuning in through the men's Division I and Division II, the tournaments that have already concluded here this weekend in Columbus, this weekend in Columbus. And really, that's what you're looking at there. Simplify the game here in a tournament like this. Turnover there as Mackenzie Schultz tried to fire it in deep. That did not connect. And at center ice, it's going to be tipped off the boards by Lothspeech. Lothspeech moves in, winds and fires, and there's a grab off and an easy looking save by Brooklyn Ellick. The goal on the year by Anderson. She, during the regular season, Haley Anderson had 7 goals. This would be her 8th. Alyssa Alderson would be her 12th assist and 18th point. All of this, though, remember, this is the first day of their group play, of their pool play, so those are all the first points of the tournament. Assiniboine doing a nice job behind their cage, kind of breaking that play up. A long stretch pass will miss everybody, and having to come back to get it will be Lothspeech. She'll play it up the near side wall. It gets deflected out to center, and then it gets deflected over the mesh netting, and it'll be out of play with 12:34 to go in the first period. Cougars out shooting the Bison by a score of 6-2. They're outscoring them by a score of 1-0 with 12:34 left on the clock. They decide faceoff's going to come out to center ice, so we'll settle in there. It'll be Parenteau versus Cone. And it's Parenteau on the win, and she moves right in on an offensive foray. Protects, drops it on back, a shot, oh, and a shrug save by Slater. Big stop by her, and now she'll hold the post and grab it. Referee apparently saw it. Took a long time to blow the whistle. Finally he does, or she does, I believe, with 12:21 to go, and Slater been very, very good here in the early going. Again, remember, the goal was a redirection. Not much you can do about that. And it'll be an offensive zone face-off here. Coming up in the far side circle for the Cougars. Referee's gonna go ahead and throw out number 10, Parenteau. And subbing in to take the draw, it looked like that was number 11, Hamilton, that moved into the slot to take the draw. There's a shot, and that redirected side of the cage, and Bishop didn't move until she heard it hit the back of the boards. There's a loose puck in the slot. Boy, Assiniboine College doing a great job crashing the net, really causing all sorts of trouble for Slater and the Bison defense. That shot got blocked on the way through. Let's see if the Bison can press out of the zone. They cannot on first attempt. Puck's going to roll on into the corner, now behind the net, looking to protect this Johnson. Gabrielle Johnson couldn't get in all the way around. There's a wind and fire, and a glove save was made. And a good-looking shot again. I believe that was Blair Bodie who let it go. But up to the task again, and Bridget Slater, kind of the star of the first 8+ of this one. Without her efforts, this could be much worse than a 1-goal hockey game. We get right back to it. Offensive zone faceoff in the left wing sign for the Cougars. They pull the draw to the near side, or to the far side boards, and then tip it along the wall. They look to work from down below the goal line. Good little cycle game going here. Hand off, hand it off again, protect. Now they work around to the outside rim of the far side circle. Good job to drop back to the point to give yourself a receiver there. As doing that was Alderson. Now they pinch in a little bit, and everybody cycles here, working as a full team, and the shot on there was saved by Slater. So a lot there going on for the Cougars. I like what they did there. The defensemen okay to drop in down low. Meanwhile, the forwards will cover back high. When you create that 5-man unit, it can be very tough to follow it around defensively because you're used to, you're thinking, okay, you're left winger, I got to get a defenseman. Well, if your defenseman ends up being a left winger, they got to make the decision of who they're actually going to follow when your 5-team unit like that is out there. So we've seen that early by the Cougars, and now we get a turnover, and they are in 3-on-2, sent to the middle. Oh, and Fanning on it. Not as much on it was the Cougar forward, and that allowed Slater to stick it away. Now it's tied up below the goal line, looking to duck underneath, now looking for a place to play it. It rolls down below the goal line. It was knocked off the stick of, that was number 14, Doherty, and that was worked out front, and another stop is made. Rebound, Doherty again, and a chance, and that one never got through. Side of the cage, and another one on the back of the net. What a start here for the Cougars, as they are just peppering the Bison. That shot just hit the back cage, and finally it'll be grabbed by Lothspeech. She will look to clear a home run pass, didn't connect, and then it's going to be an icing call, as unable to cut back through was Rachel Dorff. We will get a whistle and a face-off here, 24 seconds shy of the halfway point of period number 1. Offensive zone face-off for the Cougars. They're going to win it on back to the point. McHugh will hold the line, and she'll get it right on back. Now she wants to walk the line, hands it off, top of the circle, winding and firing, and big save again by Slater. Second effort, cleared to the line, not out. McHugh on the attack again. She looks to lower the shoulder and get in deep. Trying to force it off there is going to be Lothspeech. Played around up the near side wall. They tried to feather it out to center ice, couldn't do that. And on a backhand, it's going to be flipped out to center ice, and a good job by Gabrielle Cohn, as this team needed a line change desperately after the icing call. They'll get it there, but the rush is brought back in by McHugh. She'll tee it up and put it in deep, and she'll now peel off for a change. Newfield trying to get the Bison back up ice. It's in the skates of a player there, a little bit of a bump and a little bit of slash back as Katie Green and Gabrielle Luma getting into it. And digging it out of the pile will be number 18, Heidi. Tapped off the near side boards. It got as far as center. Delayed offside as the Bison had to touch up. It's going to give them another opportunity to break out. Could be a 2-on-1 if they hurry. There's a half slapper, half wind-up, a save, and the rebound. Oh, and what a job again by Slater. With on the doorstep was Bodie, but Slater was able to capture that one as well. She has made 13 saves on 14 shots. What a start here for the netminder, Bridget Slater. 8-7-1 during the regular season with a 2.17 goals against average and a save percentage of .934. Gaudy numbers, and we can see why. There's another shot that got blocked in the slot. Look out here. The Cougars a shot, and that didn't go wide by much. All Cougars as they continue on here. A little drop on back to the point. They send it rink wide. 2 Bison were over on it, and kind of blowing a tire there, and falling down was Rachel Charles. It works its way around to the short boards on the far side. Now to the middle it goes, and finally the Bison able to poke it away, but falling down on the play, still making the play though, was Katie Green. But it is stabbed right back in, and going behind the net to get it, Khalid Rink. It's a great hockey name. Or excuse me, check that out on the other side. That was Lothspeech again. And Lothspeech will have to go back and get this one. Lothspeech on a backhand. They get it to the circle, and now they stretch the ice and bring it on through the middle. Gaining the red line and firing it in deep there will be 11 in black. That's Mackenzie Schultz. See if Bison can get some offense going. Chopped up to the half boards. Held in right in front of the Cougar bench. Cougars come up with it again though, and they're going to outlet here. We're going to get a race for icing here, and it's going to be won by Hansen. But the icing was waved off at the last minute, so Hansen's just got to fire it around the near side wall. It kicks down just in front of the blue line as we've got 7:57 left on the clock. They turn and try to send it deep. That didn't connect. Knifed down nicely here and brought back in over the line. Johnson with it. A shot on and a save was made. That will be held by Cook, and we will get a whistle and that'll be held by Ellick. A whistle and face-off upcoming deep and rarely now into the Cougar end. Folks, we're going to go ahead and step aside here too at this point. 1-0 our score. The Cougars on top of the Bison. Come on back for the rest of period number 1. Welcome back inside Chiller Easton here as the media timeout wrapping up here. The Bison getting an offensive zone face-off as they will look to get the offense going here. Face-off's going to be in their left wing circle. Two teams settle into position here as the referee gets ready to drop the puck. They do, and it's won by the Bison. Big opportunity here if they can get something going. That gets flipped behind the net. Alyssa Henson did that. It came around to the far side far side corner, but the Cougars are able to break out. It's cleared to the line and pushed out. Lauren Blight, she lost it in her skates. It's going to be chopped over to the near side boards where it's going to be scooped up and grabbed. Circling wide is Kenzie Heidi. She'll play it around. It came off the boards awkwardly, though. An opportunity for the Bison. Nobody home, though, and on second effort, it will be chipped out to center ice. Looking to turn and fire it deep there was number 16 for the visitors. Or, excuse me, yeah, there's number 16 for the visitors as Preswez got it deep. And now two-a-side do battle, though, as it's worked its way down to the Bison end. It's tied up below the goal line. One each way digging here. Won by the Bison, sent up to the short boards. Good read and pinched down the line by Logan Cohn. I'm sorry, wrong side there. That was McHugh who made the play, and it's loose in front of the net. We get a penalty upcoming. And again, very, very dangerous are the Cougars. And it's going to lead to another power play opportunity. They are already 1-for-1 with the man advantage. And a cross-checking up call is upcoming. 13:23, the time of the call. Cross-checking will be the call. And it looks like it was number 3, Lothspeech, going off. And a power play that has already connected once today will get their second opportunity. Walking the line, they peel it off. Now they send it rink wide the other way. This is Anderson. Played around. And the big win by the Bison is they're going to get it cleared the length of the ice. We get a foot race back. It looks like Kenzie Heidi's got it. And now McHugh winding up for the Cougars. In front of the both benches. All the way in on the left wing side. Down below the circle and around. Looking in front. Didn't have anything. But she wraps the net. Now can set it up. And then she fanned on her first pass, but is able to peel back and keep the zone pressure on. They try to run the give and go where it's going to be pulled off the wall by McHugh. McHugh hands it off, top of the circle. Give and go. McHugh forced again. Now she goes far side circle to the bottom of the dot. That's shot on through, and it's going to end up hitting something and ending in the near side corner. Looking to walk to the middle here. A little bit of space for Charles. A shot, they score! Rachel Charles! 14 goals during the regular season and the second power play goal of this game. And the Cougars have struck again. They lead 2-0 with 14:29 gone by in period number 1. More good work on the power play. All attack zone time. Great move through the slot and a lot of puck carrying there. But it ends up going in as Rachel Charles let it go. And it's a 2-0 game. Again, not really much that the netminder Slater could do about that one. They will give Parenteau an assist, the lone assist, and now they're in again. 2-on-1, they move in, a rising shot. Oh, and what a snare! As Slater far from giving up on this one as she grabs another one. Again, the primary assist was Parenteau. She led the team in goal scoring the regular season, and she'll start pool play off with an assist on the goal by Rachel Charles. And the Cougars remain on the offensive with an offensive zone faceoff. They move to the middle, save made, rebound, backhand into that, hit the side of the cage. And again, the Cougars right back on it. Little dip on through, good cutoff there by Lothspeech. Thrown to the middle. Puck was a broken stick is sitting right in the slot. The puck, though, is going to move over to the near side boards where the Bison are going to be able to sweep it out. Here's a rush here, 3-on-3. Good cut, a shot on, and that's going to end up being deflected away. Never found its way on goal, as that was Presquez. Backhanded out by the Cougars to center. This will not have enough for icing, and it's going to be controlled now by Lothspeech. Long rink-wide feed found its mark in Schultz. Pushed back further, and a couple of gloves come together right on the puck. Schultz wants to spin away again, could not. As it rolls into the zone, it's going to be backhanded across and played ahead. This play all started with Johnson making the lead feed. And now it's tapped off the boards and cleared out to center. Turning and just putting it right back in will be Johnson. Fired in, carried around the kick plate, and down into the corner. Quickly the reverse flow as Johnson is in there again. Now the near side wall. And a tip and chase opportunity, but unable to catch up to it there on the first attempt was Dorf. Good skating, just couldn't come up with it. Now a delayed offside. Dorf couldn't make that play as it comes through all the way back to the Bison here. Calling for it, and now getting it is going to be Hansen. Hansen's going to tip it in as the Bison will pour in after it. This is the longest we've probably been out of the Bison defensive end in this game as shots are sitting at 20-2, and the score sits at 2-0. 2 power play goals by the Cougars, and now they're up again. Left wing side on the rush, trying to center it on through. Good job blocking that pass before it could get through. Backhand shot and a save was made. Rebound now, sharp angle riser, and that ends up right back behind the cage. Continuing the good work Slater. That's moved in front, and then a stick got in the alley at the last second. I believe it was Alyssa Hansen that got the stick down and made the save to prevent that from being trouble. Face off here will be in the center ice circle. Or excuse me, in the circle to the left side of the rink. Offensive zone face off for the Cougars. They have it again. Winding and firing, and that one missed probably about 5 feet wide. I believe that was Alderson who let it go. Circling away from trouble, or at least trying to. Here are the Cougars. They've sent it in. Bison defenseman Lothspeech tries to play it around. Didn't have enough to get it out. They tap it off the boards. Getting in the way of that was Parento. It comes up to the short boards on the far side of the rink. And pushing it further is going to be Bodie. Bodie down below the goal line. Sends it to the middle. A shot save was made, and the rebound is going to be cleared out to center. And on the backhand, it's a nice job keeping it at center ice and then rolling it in by number 18, Heidi. And the Cougars are right back on it with 2:08 to go in the period. Spinning centering pass didn't quite connect. And that's hit a stick on the way through, but now the Bison look to get on the offensive. They're going to flip it in, and a bouncing puck on goal was a little bit of trouble, but up to the task was Alec. Shoot from any angle, that's for sure. Never know what's going to happen, especially when the goaltender hasn't seen a lot of rubber. Is winding up again is Dorf. She's at good speed. Rachel Dorf trying to drag through. She could not, and it's going to be jabbed back out to center. Having to help out there was Lothspeech. She'll play it on further, and sweeping it in the rest of the way was Rachel Johnson. Behind the net to play it is going to be Logan Cohn. Quick little pass, give and go, as it went over the stick of Mariah McHugh, I beg your pardon. And they do battle now along the boards, right at the hash marks here in the Bison offensive end. Puck comes free, moves down below the goal line. Good job boxing out there as Dorf gained position. It's a turnover here, and they walk in and out of the glove, but what a shot. Let go by Hansen. Best opportunities of the game so far. There's another breakout. Hansen was able to deflect it, but it still landed on the stick of a rushing player, and I believe that is number 3, Rink, moving in. Rink along the far side boards is where she's trapped. Tried to send it across. Did not work on that opportunity, so Heidi's just going to go ahead, step in, and play it in further. It works its way around where Schultz has it. Schultz will come below the goal line. Wrap the cage and look. Pushes it on further. Gets help over in that corner by way of Bryn Fisher. And the puck's just going to roll to the line. It'll come on out to center. Drifting back here will be Alderson. Quick pass across, so that was 16, not 15. So that was Anderson, not Alderson. And it's backhanded in further by Henson. Into the final 22 of the opening stanza. Shots on goal listed at 20-3. Score 2-0. Star of the period so far, North Dakota State netminder Bridget Slater, keeping her team within 2 goals. She's made some spectacular saves in this one, as the final seconds will tick down in this period. The Cougars will look to clear. They do. Will it have enough for icing, and will it count? As it will not, as Loath Speech couldn't get down to the dots. And we have put 20 minutes of play in the books, and through the first 20 minutes of play, it's been all Cougars as they outshoot the opposition. The Bison by a total of 20-3. They get 2 power play goals, and they lead after 20 minutes of play by a score of 2-0. Folks, we're going to step aside. When we come back, second period action, you are watching the ACHA Division II Women's National Championship Tournament. You're watching that on the ACHA Network on YouTube. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside Chiller Easton here as our sixth and final game of the day, easy for me to say, is about one period. It's through one period of play, and the Bison from North Dakota State are behind. They trail by a score of 2-0 with 20 in the books. They gave up 2 power play goals with Presquaz out. She ended up giving up a goal. A goal was scored by Anderson, and Alderson gets the assist. That would make it 1-0, and then a cross-checking penalty to Love Speech at 13:23 would lead to Rachel Charles scoring from Parento, and those are the 2 goals on the board. Shots on goal were 20-3 in favor of the Cougars there, as they really dominated the period, but needed the power plays to actually take the lead. So we'll see what happens here. If any changes come, impressive period of play, though, by Bridget Slater, the goaltender for the visiting Bison, as she was spectacular. Without her, it could easily be 4 or 5-0. So we'll keep an eye on her and keep an eye here as we return to action here in period number 2. 19:45 left on the clock, and the Cougars are able to get it in down below the goal line. They try to move out in front. That didn't connect. And now they will wrap the cage. She actually fake wrapping the cage, try to bank it on off of Slater. That didn't connect. Side of the net, Slater just going to tee it up there. Even strength hockey. There's a shot, and that redirected just wide. It looked like the Bison would kind of collapse down low. They need to get some pressure on here. That's been played to the point. That pass was deflected, and now it's kicked on, and maybe a break here. Could be a chance for Cone, and forehand shot. She just couldn't get it high enough. Big stop made by Brooklyn Alec. You got to think that if after a period like that, you give up an early goal in the second period when you've outshot a team by 17, that could put some bad doubt in your head. But instead, the netminder, able to come up with a big stop there to keep this a 2-goal game with 19:10 to go in period 2. And the face-off there is going to be knocked right on goal, and it's going to be controlled. And we'll do it again here. We're in the right wing face-off circle in the offensive end for the Bison. Looking to pull this puck back here is going to be Mary Carmen Presquaz. They play that around. Into the corner, Presquaz on it again. Dips back through, and it came to the side of the cage a chance. There's a point shot on save, and they kind of took a couple of whacks at it in front of the net. Did Presquaz, but it's going to end up being held, and good start to the period for the Bison, as they already have 3 shots in the first minute and 6 of this period. They had 3 shots in all the first period. So real good start to this period for the Bison here as they look to press a little bit more offensively. Face-off's going to be taken by Logan Cone. Cone couldn't pull it on back. Around the net come the Cougars. It's gently laid on through the middle and now carried on. That's number 10, Parento, with speed down at least to the dots. She'll pull back, sent through the middle, deflected back to the line. That doesn't get out, though. It's going to end up now in the near side corner. Is looking to go to work are the Cougars. Spinning away. Nice little give and go. Started there as Rachel Charles wanted to get to the front of the net. It's centered. That got knocked down, and it's going to be grabbed by Cone. She couldn't clear the zone. Fired back around by Parento. Puck works its way over the near side. Standing up there was Charles to cause some issues. Puck gets to center on a 2-on-2. Now a 2-on-3. Good dogged back check work there. And really nothing could go on. That was Blair Bodie on a back check that really didn't let the Bison carry through. But now the other way we go, 2-on-3. Good job breaking, or 3-on-2, but it was broken up by the Bison. And now we go the other way, 1-on-1 rush here. End to end we go. That didn't work, but now it's bounced to the middle and a shot save. The rebound's loose and it's rolling into the net. They score! Presquaz! And it's a 1-goal hockey game as the shots on goal this period, 5-0 for the Bison. After they get 3 in the first period, they get 5 in the first 2:08 of period 2. Great effort. A rebound was left after the original shot, and all the Bison players crashed the net, and they end up getting the puck into the net. And it sounded like he said number 9 on the assist. That would be Fisher. I think he said Fisher, so we'll give Fisher the assist. And this game just picked up a little bit here with 17:20 to go in the period, and there's a centering pass that got knocked down. This, if it can be gathered cleanly, could be an odd man rush. It ends up being a 2-a-side. There's a screen shot and a pretty good-looking bullet there. That was off the stick of Low Speech. Chance again and spiked off into the corner. Bison coming out flying here in period number 2. Played around on the backhand as Haley Anderson looks to clear the zone. They get it to the corner, and on the second effort, it's going to be jammed back around the boards. Down below the goal line, looking for an outlet here is going to be Alyssa Alderson. It gets out to center and corralling it there. Turning is going to be Alyssa Hansen. Lead feed is kicked down as it ended up in the skates of Heidi. She's going to angle it off the backboards. Oh, first person over there is Rachel Johnson. Johnson sent to the middle and just unable to handle on the backhand was Dorf. Cut off, thrown right back in, and that's going to go wide, and a good job by Presquaz. She scored the goal, has 18 during the regular season, now 1 here in the postseason. Sent back in, swung back in, and that will be held by the netminder Alec as we see some pretty good stuff here in this second period. Bison again, we are not even 4 minutes in yet, and they have 7 shots after just 3 in the first, and just as impressive, they have not yet given up a shot in this period. Face-off win and a drive. That was blocked and didn't get all the way through, and there is a player down. Let's see if she's going to get up, and it looks like gingerly so is Carly Frederick. She is going to get up and head on off after that shot drilled her. And it did look like she was moving both legs as she skated off, so that's good to see. She's actually going to move right on down to her next spot on the bench, so that's good to see that she's okay, or at least appears to be okay. And now it's the Cougars bringing it back the other way. Over the line. Sent to the middle on an open chance. How'd that clear out? The sea parted, and the Cougars were just unable to finish. Side of the cage now. Still working on the offensive. The Cougars had a shot on, and that's going to be saved by Slater with 15:44 to go. Are you listening to me? You're listening to me. Are you hearing static in there? Okay. Sorry about the delay there as we get right back to the action. Trying to play it along the far side boards is Blair Bodie. It works its way now into the near side corner. Big collision there as it does get out to center ice and could be a 2-on-1 again. Moving on through. They send one on goal, and that's just going to be held by the netminder Ellick. And good job there by Rachel Dorf. 11 goals during the regular season. She at least put it on goal. Forces a face-off and an offensive zone face-off at that. North Dakota State 10-11-1 on the year. Assiniboine Cougars come in at 19-8. In those 27 games played, they only gave up 36 goals. Meanwhile, the Cougars in their 22 games played, they only gave up 45 goals. So a couple of really good, solid defensive teams here. As the Cougars will look to clear it out. Good job stepping up at the line and helping to keep it in was Low Speech. They look to throw it to the middle. That didn't connect, and now a clearing attempt. That's turned over again. Good job here as Rachel Johnson kept it in. And now it'll be carried on out. Full speed ahead comes Haley Anderson. Anderson looking to get wide, down below the goal line and throws the brakes on. Wanted to protect the puck. Got bumped off for her troubles. And look out here, another possible odd man rush. They send it rink wide, and just unable to kick it skate to stick was Mackenzie Schultz. She will go in and follow it up though. Puck was won by Mariah McHugh. It's tipped ahead. Full race out there. It's going to be follow up by McHugh. McHugh going to roll it in. Puck in deep. Sign for the Cougars to change. As Johnson has it below the goal line. It's backhanded up by Hansen. It ends up right back on Hansen's stick. Look out here. Turnover forced, and it's thrown through the lip of the crease and comes out the other side. Just playing it on further was 14 in White Doherty. Outside rim, far side circle. A little bit of a jitterbug move there. Pushed back up the wall, outside rim of the circle again, and another shot. And Bridget Slater put the glove where she needed to grab that one. And we will get a Whistle and a face-off upcoming with 13:58 to go in the second period. Shots this period so far, 2 for the home team, and the road team, the Bison, with 10, with just 6:02 gone by in this period. And the Bison try to move it up again. A collision and a heavy spill into the boards. We'll see if both of those players get up. Good to see that they are. Let's just keep the action going. Looking to get wide. Trying to peel in with some room. And they are able to do so. A little spinorama pass. I believe that's Rink who got it in deep. Sent it on through a Karen off a stick, but ends up back at the point. They're just going to slap it in further, and that was Heidi. Bison look to clear. They cannot. Fresh mates coming over the line for the Cougars. They will now wrap the net. Send it to the middle, a chance, and that was stuck away. I believe 18 Heidi had that shot. Thrown on through to the other side, and that deflected away. Now the Cougars starting to find their legs here. Charles is on it. Give and go there, didn't connect. But from the high slaughter drive, that's deflected away as Heidi had that opportunity. Good shift there for the Cougars. A little bit of a response finally as it comes with 7 minutes into the period. Puck pushed on back. Trying to backhand it further and able to do so there. Where the Bison, it gets as far as their offensive blue line, but it does get cleared away there. Touched at center ice. You got it, I take it. Now it's just going to be hacked on in. Giving chase will be Mackenzie Schultz. She'll look to follow it up as the play is down low by McHugh. Touch pass to the middle. Quick little give and go as Charles hits a player in full flight. They look to charge right through. They do, but it's going to be grabbed as unable to finish the play was the on-rushing Cougar forward. And I believe that was 10, Parento, who was on the rush, or it might have been number, see here, no, 13 Charles is going to take the draw. She was actually the one that helped spring the break. So we've got 12:31 to go, and it's going to be an offensive zone for the Cougars. Offensive zone face-off, I should say, for the Cougars. Far side of the rink. They win the draw, they move it to the middle. That shot rolled wide. A little bit of stick handling here as they want to try to feather it back in down low. That didn't work out. And a stretch pass there gets to center and unable to knife it down and gain control with Schultz. So that's going to give the Cougars an opportunity to reload in their own end. Stretch pass played it ahead. It's led on and carried in by Charles. Sharp angle. She now moves below the circle and around the cage. Charles still on it. Looking around, nowhere to go with it as she was canceled out nicely on a good defensive play. That's Low Speech in there causing problems defensively. Cleared to the line and hacked down and carried out by Presquez as she's got the goal in this one for the Bison. A 2-1 lead for the Cougars as we are a couple minutes shy of the midway point of this hockey game. Unable to do a quick snap ahead was Fisher coming in off the bench. And behind the cage is left by Anderson. Teed around up the wall. It doesn't get out on that first opportunity. Played on in further. And now it comes to the line and it will get out. Chipped right on by Johnson. That's going to lead to a foot race back, and the very speedy number 20, Rachel Dorf, helped negate that rush. And it's turned over, and now the aforementioned Dorf will lead a rush. Nice pass over the line, just unable to pull it in cleanly was Rachel Johnson. They dig away at it at the top of the circle along the boards. Oh, it could have been a near cut 2-on-0. If that play doesn't work, now it's going to turn into a 2-on-1. They send it across, a shot blocked. Great job getting over, as I believe that was Low Speech who came over to block that one down. It was a 2-on-1, and she made the play. Now it's chopped below the goal line. Alyssa Hansen down there to play it. 2-1 game, 10 minutes, 48 seconds to go. We're in period number 2. Shots are now 24-13 after being 20-3 after the first period. And now an odd man rush, just unable to pick it up at the Columbus Blue Jacket logo at center ice was Rachel Dorf. 2-on-2, they bring it in. Sharp angle shot, and very comfortably, Slater makes the save, and a good job by her. She stays on her feet. If she drops down onto her knees, that puck might beat her high side. Instead, she's in a crouch position, gets the glove up, and it made the save look quite easy for her. This offensive zone faceoff is going to be a one again by the Cougars. That shot, and that, I don't know if it ended up hitting Slater or not, but it did ream just wide. Lead feed on through, trying to chase it on down is going to be number 16, Presquez. No icing on this play. She tries to tie up a stick, and she will. Two-a-side battle below the goal line, but it's quickly dug on out. And a lead feed rink wide is going to be carried on by Doherty. Doherty's going to go ahead and just roll it on in deep. It's teed up behind the cage. Slater will leave it there. We are exactly halfway through this hockey game. 2-1 our score. Cougars looking for more. A little bit of a circle back as they try to reload. That was Alyssa Alderson doing that. It's going to be sent down. Is this going to be an icing call? No, they say not. Late call as Johnson got back, and then a centering pass was behind a player moving alone in front, and now Hansen comes back. She'll bank it off the boards to Cone. Cone a little chip and chase, and she'll go right in after it. She's tied up. It gets pushed down further, but Fisher was there to back it up, and Alec had seen enough. She will grab it off and hold it for a face-off. We've got 9:25 on the clock, and with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll step aside. When we come back, the remainder of the second period, a 2-1 game. It looked like the Cougars were going to run away with it, but what a comeback here by the Bison.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers, and by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back here inside Chiller Easton. 9:25 on the clock, 2-1 our score. Again, shots after one were 20-3 in favor of Assiniboine College. But in this second period, the Bison coming alive offensively. They've already put 10 shots on goal, while the Cougars have only been able to get 5. And the lone goal of the period to be credited by number 16, Presquas, her 19th of the season from Fisher, and that is how we have the score that we have now, this 2-1 game, and a really good comeback period by the Bison. The Cougars are going to break their huddle, and they're going to head on down to their defensive zone as they have to win a defensive zone face-off here to get this period underway. Face-off upcoming, offensive zone here for the Bison. Cone tried to win it back, but it was won by the Cougars. Good stick lift, helps slow up the rush, but a give and go. Gets Charles moving in through the middle, and a shot there, and again, making the save look easy was Slater. She gave up 2 power play goals in the first period, but outside of that, she's been rock solid. And it's going to be an offensive zone face-off here for the Cougars. In the far side, it'll be the right wing side of the ice. And settling in for the face-off, looks like it's going to be Cone against Parento. They tried to kind of slide it to the middle. There's a turn and shot, and that just went wide. Unable to get the stick down on the backside of that play. Now they center it in front, and a big blocker save. Another shot on, that's redirected on. And a save was made. Now it looks like the Cougars warming to the task. That pass got deflected away. Coming back to fire it back in deep was number 18, Heidi. Over to the boards it goes. Parento took a swipe at it to keep it in. It's jabbed back into the near side corner where Hansen has to go race it down. She'll throw the brakes on, a little spinorama play, and Hansen, with a little time and space, clears it to the line, not out. Good keep there on the first attempt, and then finally it's cleared out to center, where Mariah McHugh has to get back to it. McHugh looks to gain the red line and get it deep. She does just that and fires it in. It's going to rim around the kick plate all the way over to Johnson. Johnson, spinorama play, looking for a little bit of space. Sent over to the near side boards. Long stretch pass through the middle. Bounce before it could be kicked ahead by Dorf. It won't have enough for icing, though, and that's a break for the Bison as we've got 8:08 to go here in period 2. That stretch pass missed everybody. Will it be an icing? It's a race to the dots, and a good job. A good call there by the official. The race to the dots was won by Johnson. Ariel Johnson making that play there to negate the icing call. 8:01 on the clock. Although a good answer since the TV timeout by the Cougars as they came out with a good scoring shift. 3 shots on, or 3 scoring chances if nothing else. Although, let's go the other way and credit Slater for keeping this game close. There's kind of a lobbing centering pass that it's going to lope on down, and having to go in after it is going to be Schultz. Schultz now looking to lift the stick and come out in front with it. It never really worked out that way as McHugh's going to send it rink wide. Lead feed, Karam's off a skate and quickly turning it right back in with the Bison, and a good play there by Presquez. Down below the goal line, having to get to it. Johnson's going to let her teammate get to it. Played around the near side boards, coming down low to help out is Fisher. It's clear to the line, not out. A spinorama play here and looking to gain a little time in space is Schultz. She'll kick it up ahead and now tap it in off the boards and get it deep. Bison are going to get some fresh skaters out there. Fisher will apply the forecheck pressure as the Cougars look to carry it on out. One little move was good. Second one finds a lead feed. Doherty moves in and fires, and it's a good save right into the chest of the netminder. And an easy-looking save for Bridget Slater, who has now gotten 27 of 29 shots on goal. As we are 2 seconds beyond 7 minutes to play, we've got 6:58 on the clock. After a face-off win, the Cougars look to go to work. They keep it in at the top of the circle. I think a centering pass hit off a skate and will now carry him all the way out to center ice as nobody was able to grab it. And this will give a little time and space now for the Bison to wind up. Long stretch pass there. It was touched and no icing, but the first man back on it is Heidi. She'll play it around the boards and it'll carry him all the way to the short glass. Back out to the line, and it was touched, so it was not a hand pass, but it was a delayed offside, which is now remedied as they touched up at center ice. But the Cougars clear the zone, and now the Cougars move in on a 3-on-2 offensive foray. That was knifed away at the last minute before the Cougars could move it to the middle. Played on in further, looking to cut back up against the glare, against the grain was Bodie. Sends rink wide and a one-timer, kind of partially fanned on, and it's going to end up behind the cage as the Cougars look to get the offense going. Below 6 to go here in period number 2. It's tied up along the boards. Referee watching, waiting, telling them to dig it out and play. And finally, we get a whistle, and we will have a face-off. Looked like he was signaling out to center. Could be wrong on that, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a center ice face-off right in front of our broadcast booth in the near side dot. We get a face-off scrum, and it's dug out by Parento. She wanted to get kind of wide on the right side, didn't work, and it's going to end up coming back out at center. That's tipped down in further and redirected in. A good play there. Trying to avoid a check. Good dogged work there by the Cougars. It looks like that is number 6, Blair Bodie, in there. Now they get the turnover side of the net, but the shot never got on goal. Good close out down around the net by the Bison defense. That puck hit a stanchion and will be grabbed and just shunned over to the near side. And now it's just rolled on up, and it's going to roll on goal. No icing here. They keep the play in motion. Long stretch pass is going to miss everybody here. Now we're going to get a foot race, and the race to the dots is again won, not really by much, but Low Speech got there first with a closing in Cougar, and the face-off will move back down in the offensive end for the Bison. The shots have begun to spread again. It is a 17-shot difference after one. It is back to a 17-shot difference as both teams have been credited with 10 this period. Trying to get a point shot one time around. That didn't get through off the stick of Hansen. It gets to center ice, swinging it back. Hansen played it on, but it was right on the stick of a Cougar player. It's kicked forward, and now everybody's looking for it, and it's moved on in over the line. Just trying to make a little move there was Johnson. It's going to lead a rush back the other way as McHugh has it. McHugh down below the goal line, wraps, looks, waits, circle, cuts it off, and throws her legs back to the middle. That's redirected away, and it's going to end up being cleared. It stabbed up the boards, trying to hack it out, and a good play there. Very noticeable on the ice has been Rachel Dorff, not just with her speed, but she's made some nice defensive plays as well. Rink-wide feed, moved to the middle. That didn't connect. And falling down, but kind of carrying through, was Charles. It was deflected, so no icing here. And again, the speed of Dorff and a collision as Dorff collided, I believe, with, was it Frederick 17 or was it 7 McHugh? I believe it was 7 McHugh. Face-off will stay in the offensive zone, and again, there's another play with Dorf using her speed, forcing an offensive zone face-off, forcing a puck to be held, and creating a second chance here. There wasn't really much for number 4 in black, Hansen, to be able to do with it, so she just wanted to cycle it down low, and instead, the Cougars will stretch it over to the near side. Now a quick touch pass through the middle. That was read all the way and intercepted. The drop pass there was trouble, and nice job reading the play and getting in deep. Pushing it along further there is going to be number 4, Neufeld, I beg your pardon. We come back the other way now, and then we go. That's carried on through by Presquez. Got as far as the line, and now it's going to be shot in, delayed offside. Means that they're going to need to touch up here. Don't remember saying Neufeld's name much, but definitely out there now. It's taped back in to the zone, and looking for a little bit of an outlet here are the Cougars. They get it as far as the blue line, and they redirect it down. Will this have enough for icing? No, the race was won on that one. Good job by 17 Frederick to be able to negate the icing. And now they go to work offensively. Send on through, and that drop pass missed everybody with 2:58 to go in the period. The late offside for the Cougars should give the Bison at least a moment, but they touched up quickly and got right back in after it. That's down the ice. Teeing it up there was number 16, Anderson. It ends up moving back through on the right-hand side. They move in, a shot save, and the rebound! It's going to be held off by the netminder. Bridget Slater making the play. And we can see why she's got a save percentage of .934. She has been fantastic in this one, keeping the Bison in it. Offensive zone face-off for the Cougars. Come on up here. Puck is dropped. They joust away on the dot, and a good stop again, and they quickly clear away the cutting to the net, Carly Frederick, I beg your pardon. She had 11 goals during the regular season, so not surprising that she'd get in the middle of plays there. And we'll do it again in the same dot. And kicked out of the draw was the Cougars here, so we got to do it again. Actually, we got to just drop it with a new winger in there to take the draw. And activating is the defense. Thrown to the middle, it didn't quite connect as somebody came in from the point position to make a play. It's taken away now and right back in on another Cougars down below the goal line. They center it out in front. A big stop was made, as I believe that was Alyssa Alderson. Point blank range, and again up to the task was Bridget Slater. With 2:18 to go, Slater keeping her team in it. It's just a 1-goal spread here in the second period with 2:18 to go, staying within a 1-shot game. And considering all the pressure that's been put on by the Cougars, that's a pretty impressive feat. A drop pass to the point, it's going to be just turned and shucked back in further. Ends up into the corner. Again, 2 bodies come together below the goal line. Dug out by the Cougars. They look to reverse flow, see if they can't create a little space. Backhanded in, down below the goal line again. Looking to throw one to the middle. That didn't work. It's on the back of the cage now. Now they try to tuck it in. That doesn't connect. I believe that's Frederick again. She falls down, blows a tire on the play, and it's pushed down through. Just the 2 penalties in this game. They both ended up being power play goals for the home squad. Sent down, side of the net. Thrown on through the middle, that got deflected, and the rebound got thrown on and deflected again, and ends up below the goal line. Good follow-up there by number 6 in black, that's Johnson. She's being forced. Plays it up to the short boards on the far side. Redirected out to center by Schultz. Didn't get out, though. Held in, and now Hansen has to go back for it. Again in front of the Cougar bench. That couldn't get out. Trying to slice it down with Schultz. Held in and played over the near side corner. Feel like that the Bison might just be hanging on here, trying to get to the intermission. Heine into the corner. Her centering pass was deflected away and taken by Cone. She'll chip it along the ball. Chip it along the wall. Only got as far as the half boards. And again, it's below the goal line. Flipped behind the net. Final 48 and counting of the period. Big 48 seconds here for the Bison if they can keep this killed. Schultz tried to lift the stick so the puck would roll to center. That didn't work. Gained back by Bodie. And now the Bison will gain control. Got to get the red line to make sure you can get it deep. And doing just that with making the play was Mackenzie Schultz. They will peel off and make a change here with 26 to go in the period. Final 26 seconds of the second stanza. With speed, over the line, carrying it through is Anderson. Anderson, sharp angle shot. That was blocked on a good defensive play. Staying with it was Hansen. Hansen now below the goal line. She's going to get pinned to the boards, trying to protect here into the final 10. It's dug out by the Cougars. It's thrown to the middle around the backhand. Oh, what a stop there! A backhand chance from the slot by Charles was gloved off by Slater to keep this a one-goal hockey game with 5.3 to go in period number 2. Shots 34-14, but I tell you, star of the game, Bridget Slater, keeping her team into this one. Let's see what comes off this face-off here. Set draw, potentially. They have a face-off plan to the Cougars. You'd expect to see it here. They win the draw and now move it towards the middle. They couldn't get all the way through. There's a sharp angle shot, and it's going to be deflected and hit the side of the cage. The Bison came out and were spectacular the first 8 minutes of the period. The Cougars reestablished themselves and started the domination again of puck control, but it's just 2-1, all due to the work of the netminder, Bridget Slater. Folks, we're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we're going to have third period action. It's going to be exciting. You come on back and join us. You are watching the ACHA Division II Women's National Tournament on the ACHA Network, sponsored by YouTube.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back inside Chiller Easton here as we are looking at a 2-1 game. North Dakota State, the Bison, trail the Assiniboine Cougars. That score, again, at 2-1. Let me take another stab at that. Assiniboine. There it is, Assiniboine. I appreciate it. You got to bear with me here. I made it through 2 periods without screwing it up. It was bound to happen at some point. Cougar fans, please be kind to me as we try to get through this last, the 6 games of the D2 women's slate here. And the Bison, with only 9 skaters here, 9 skaters and then 1 netminder, they fall behind 2-0 with 2 power play goals in the first. Do a great job of getting back into it and getting one in the second. But as we play on now early in the 3rd period, they need to get 1 more if they want to send this game on. That puck's going to be played right in front of the scorer's table, and now the Cougars will load up. Rink wide feed is a long bottom pass. That was intercepted. Puck's deflected up in the air and played on further on a nice little tap bomb by Cone. Looking to dip on wide here is going to be Rachel Johnson. That didn't work out on the play through, and that just was missed by 2 sticks, and it's going to allow Bodie an opportunity. Bodie moves in, shoots, and a good stop there. Boy, that was screened. Slater didn't pick it up till late, but still an outstanding stop by Slater. They move on back through, trying to get that 1 goal to get us back to even. Unable to dance on through is Presquez. She scored the first goal. Foot race on back the other way, Hansen. Cancels out. No icing on that play. I think Hansen thought it was. It left the player alone in front for a moment, but that didn't connect. Low Speech now, below the goal line. Fires it around. It hit the boards at kind of an awkward angle, so it got out of the zone. And now a player fresh. Oh, and it's just out of the reach of the flying Bison player Cone. It ends up into the far side corner. Flipped down ahead to the right in front of the Cougar bench, and now it's sent on over to the near side. Peeling off back towards their defensive end are the Cougars. They gain the red line, and now they'll just chip it into the far side corner. Going after it there is going to be number 4 in black, Hansen. She'll chip it off the boards. It rolls in further. Controlled by the Cougars. They make a move through center. Good active stick there. Knocked that one down. Trying to follow up, but they couldn't break in, could the Bison. It's back in control of number 6, Johnson. At center, it's carried on in. Look out here, full speed ahead. It was an offsides play. Got that jersey tucked. It looked like number 10. Let's see, and she already went off for the change. No, I'm sorry, there she is. Is that 19 or 10 with the jersey tucked? I think that might have been Brooke Mead. Keep an eye out to see if that. You can see side of the arm patch there. It might also be 15, but anyway. Now they're right back through the middle. A chance, and that's rolled out the other side. Good opportunity there as it looked like it was Newfield in front of the net. Check that, Neufeld in front of the net. Circling here outside of the face-off circle. Give and go as McHugh tried to get on through. Could not do so. Looking for a pass in front. Help comes by way of Alyssa Neufeld. It is swung back to the line, not out. Good keep there as Dorf didn't have enough on it to get it out to center ice. So now Low Speech. She'll tap it on in and around. They tie it up at the hash marks right along the boards. Puck's pushed back in below the cage for the Bison. And it's a 2-on-1 now down low. They dig it out, work it back to the point, looking to stride into one, and that got blocked and ended up missing the net. They get a collision in front. There's another shot, and a save was made as it was let go. A sharp angle shot by Neufeld, but the save was made, and we will get a whistle and a face-off upcoming with 16:58 to go, period 3. 2-1 our score. Shots listed at 35-14. They started at 22-3 in favor of the Cougars as another shot on a saved. Since then, though, 16-11, much more respectable since the end of period number 1. Now we get a face-off offensive zone for the Cougars, far side of the rink. It's going to be moved to the middle, and now it's just going to be chopped down the ice, but it's going to, thought it might have been on goal. It's going to end up rolling down for icing. Getting back there first was Haley Anderson, and that's going to force the icing call. So let's move it right on back down here to the Bison end. Assiniboine and North Dakota State. The final game here in day 1 of the D2 women's tournament. Well, you're going to drop it again. There were 6 games of group play or pool play today. We'll have 6 more games tomorrow and Friday for you before we determine the pool winners, and then those pool winners will move over to the Ohio Health Ice House for the national semifinals and the national championship games. Still a lot to go before we get to that point, though, as that's going to be cleared the length of the ice, and we get another icing call. We kind of hit a little bit of a rut to start period number 3. 16:31 still left on the clock, 2-1 our score. And it's going to be a face-off back down in the Bison end where we've played the majority of this period. There's a shot on that missed on the short side. Is looking to make the play there with Slater. Slater didn't have to worry about making the play on that short side shot. Hansen behind the net. Tried to get a cycle going, but it never found. Low Speech and rolls into the corner so the Cougars can control again. Shot on there. That was blocked. They look to center it again. Nice feathering, centering, pass, a shot, scores! Big shot there. I believe it was Blair Bodie moving through the middle. And the 2-goal lead is restored. Bodie's goal. She had 8 in the regular season. First to the tournament. And it is now a 3-1 game. And let's see if that changes the tempo at all. A little bit of an exhale, you got to believe, for Assiniboine, as they had fallen victim to a really good start of a period. This game got to within 1 last period, but now they've reopened their 2-goal lead and are looking for more. They will give Parenteau an assist as well, and it is going to be a 3-1 game now. Puck at the line, played on in deep. Cougars look to keep the pressure on. That hit the side of the cage. Then it was just bunted back on further below the goal line by Slater. It works over to the near side where the Cougars want to spin a centering pass. That didn't connect as Hansen now fires it around. It hit a stanchion and maybe a 3-on-2 opportunity here for the Bison. They gain the red. They stay onside. Oh, they call it offside. That's why you got to hit that line with speed and go, because sometimes your teammates there, one of them did stay onside. I guess the second one did not, and that's what's going to force the face-off at center ice. The draw is going to be in front of the Cougars bench. We're getting ready to drop the puck here. It's going to be one and just backhanded in the rest of the way, as Johnson did that. But the Cougars sweep it out to center. Collier with it. She'll just send it in deep. Good job getting in deep and trying to skate out of trouble there with a Bison. As I get caught by the ponytail, and now we're going to get a penalty now coming up, and it's going to be the first power play of the game to the Bison as it's cleared ahead. Big moment here is it's going to be brought on back, trying to get through, and that was poked off. And now it's going to be deemed possession, as a hooking call will give the Bison their first power play opportunity of the hockey game. And with that, let's see here, it's going to be number 2, Collier, heading off on the penalty. Time of this penalty is going to be the 5-minute, 7-second mark. Collier for hooking. That comes roughly a minute 15 after the Bodie goal that restored the 2-goal lead. Puck back at the point. They wheel it off on the half boards, and a one-timer attempt missed on the short side off the stick of number 9, Fisher, and it's going to go down the length of the ice here, and we're going to get a foot race. Hansen trying to gain control. She did a nice job to spin away from Parenteau for a moment, but Parenteau dug it out and moved out in front. It's going to be jumped on, though, and grabbed by Slater with 14:32 remaining on the third period clock. And the Cougars get what they want, an offensive zone faceoff while shorthanded. It gives them a great opportunity here to kill some more time off this power play. Faceoff is won over the near side boards. It's pushed in further. And then now it's taken away on a nice defensive play there by number 4 in black, Hansen. Stretch pass, kind of fanned on, didn't get all the way through, and just spiking it right back in deep. The aforementioned Parenteau. She's been involved and engaged all night long. There's a long bomb stretch pass that couldn't be handled cleanly by Johnson. It's tipped up the boards, and it was tipped on by Cone, and it's going to roll down below the goal line, and this is going to give Rink an opportunity. She wanted to make a move to the front and could not. It comes up the wall, tapped in further by Blight. With just a minute to go in the man advantage here, the Bison got to try to set something up if they can. Really, they just need to clear the zone if they can. There's a good start to it. Now they bring it in onside. Drifting wide up the left wing corner. Looking for a play in front was Johnson, and it gets chopped on goal, and it'll be grabbed by the Cougar netminder, Brooklyn Ellick, with the stop. Ellick with a 1.26 goals against average on the year, a 9.368 percentage. She has been rock solid all year. She's been rock solid in this game today. Offensive zone face-off coming up here for the Bison. They still have 45 seconds with which to work on this man advantage, and they do force the turnover. Good play down low, side of the cage. Didn't have anything there. Now they try to throw it through the back door, and that's just going to be cleared out to center, and having to come on back and race it down here is going to be Cone. Long bomb pass finds its mark as Preswas. Moves on through to the face-off dot, now below the circle, below the goal line. She blows a tire. Looking to reverse flow to clear it out is McHugh. Now it's tied up as it's a 1-on-2. Dug out and one in a wrap attempt. Trying to stuff it in that corner was the aforementioned Preswas, but a save was made and it's cleared the length of the ice as the power play now just has 6 and counting. A double clutch here is going to force Fisher back, and that should pretty much kill the power play, which it does. 5-a-side hockey as it's tapped in. Touching up now are the Cougars as they'll pour in after it. Looking to make a play out of the zone, and a good saucer pass there by Cohn to at least get it as far as center, and turned and carried right back in. Right on to the middle. Look at this chance, and they score! What a rush by Alderson! And the lead has bulged to 3. Time of the goal going to be the 7-minute, 26-second mark as Alderson finds a loose puck at center, pounces on it, and she skates it right in and fires it home past the netminder Slater, who's been peppered but has been so good up till that point. And really can't blame her for that one, as it was a clean sort of shot in the middle. And the Cougars win it, the draw, and they're coming in for more. Point shot there and a save. And a rebound. 2 more good stops and then whack at it. And a stop was made. Good job by Slater to hold on to that one. Again, the goal was, they said 16, not 15. So maybe it was Anderson. I've been tricked by the jersey tuck and the ponytail multiple times in this game. Anderson and Alderson teamed up on the power play goal early, and if no matter who it was, whether it was Anderson or Alderson, then one of them's got their second point of the evening, the opening goal, and now maybe potentially one of the latter goals or even possibly the closing goal of this game. Puck gets out to center. They look to carry it on through, and that got poked off, and it's going to come away to the near side boards. Cougars will regroup as they try to bring it straight up the middle of the ice. Long bomb stretch pass was nicely poked ahead by Bodie. Bodie now will go on and give chase after it. She grabs it on the backhand down below the goal line, looks in front, nothing really going there. Puck shoveled up ahead, and they're behind everybody, but just unable to pull it in was Dorf. She will be able to negate the icing, though, using the speed. Dorf now in control, outside rim of the near side circle. Trying to get a little bit of a stick lift and a slash. That didn't connect, and as a result, it gets shot out to center where Loth Speech will fire it back in. The Bison touch up and going after it. They're going to make changes back behind the play. Quick passing by the Cougars, trying to force the Bison to have to move laterally. Near steal, and then a second effort, it was nearly stolen, but it will end up out of the zone. And a good job to pinch in there by Johnson and send it in further again. That puck's going to be deflected, and it's going to hit the mesh netting and go out of play with 11:15 on the clock. Check that, 11:14 on the clock in a 4-1 hockey game. Face-off coming up at center ice here. It's going to be right in front of us here from our broadcast position. Along the near side boards, face-off dot. The draw is going to be won and controlled and now slept back in, all by the Bison, but it didn't get deep. And now it's turned and maybe a 2-on-1 opportunity. Full speed ahead. Here comes Frederick. Moving in. Shoots. Scores! Glove side, short side. She fires it under the bar. And a good-looking opportunity is finished off there. And another goal on the board here as the puddle has been pushed to the metal by the Cougars as they have scored 3 straight here in the first 9 minutes of the period to take a 5-1 lead. I was listening to see if there was an assist given. There was not an assist given, so it looks like it's going to be Frederick unassisted. And it's going to be an offensive zone face-off coming up. And actually before then, we're actually going to get a Bison timeout. We're going to go ahead and step aside with them. 4-1 game with 10:52 left on the clock. Come on back. Join us for the rest of this one.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout.
Going to be fired right back in. This one by number 6, Johnson. And it ended up being an offside call, as I don't think they ever completely tagged up, and that's going to lead to a face-off right in front of us at center ice with 9:50 on the clock and a 5-1 game. We drop the puck to get right back to it. Rink wide feed, looking for a stretch pass through, and it will be carried on. Looking to get wide. I believe that was number 2 in white. Collier looking to make the play. It's taken away, though, and angled off the backboards, trying to get it out of the zone. That's knifed down, and another opportunity for Collier now. Outside rim of the circle, played it into the middle of the circle, and there's a shot on, and that's going to be gloved off and held by the netminder, Slater, who, again, has had a pretty good game, even giving up the 5 goals. I don't know how many she really wished she could have back, and she has just been peppered here. And now we get the media timeout. So the first we get the Bison timeout, now we get the media timeout. 9:26 to go, 5-1 our score. Come on back and join us for the final 9:26.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, the official merchandise sponsor of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official hockey tape of the ACHA. And by the Three-Legged Mare, located right in the heart of downtown Columbus.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back inside Chiller Easton here. Again, we got another big slate of games for you. I believe 6 games taking place in this rink tomorrow as well. 4 on one side, 2 on the other. So if you're in the area, stop on by. Otherwise, we've got you covered on the ACHA Network on YouTube. Make sure you tune in for all the games as well. The D3 tournament still going on. The D1 women's tournament still going on as well. We've already crowned 2 national champions here. One being the Adrian College Bulldogs in Division I men's, the other being the Florida Gulf Coast squad, as they are also national champions of the men's Division II. So looking forward to it here as some of the men clear out. The women's tournaments both getting underway here over at the Ohio Health Ice House. The 4 different mini-series of best of 3 leading to determine who will be the final 4 there. And this is pool play here for the D2 women. And after that, the best team from each pool will go ahead and play, the final 4 of those will play for the national title semifinals in the national championship, those games being Saturday and Sunday. Pool play continues through Friday, just so you kind of get a little bit of a rundown here of what we've got coming up on the ACHA Network here on YouTube. Puck's going to be chipped out to center ice in a 5-1 game. We are 5 seconds past under the 9-minute mark, and now we're going to get a penalty and a save also being made there, as that was a chance put on by Slater, controlled by Slater. And the penalty's coming up here. So a power play that's already clicked for 2 tonight is going to get their 3rd opportunity. A holding call upcoming. And it's going to go to number 4 in black. That's Hansen. So Hansen's going to go off for holding. Time of this penalty is going to be the 11-minute, 10-second mark. Holding call upcoming. And that's going to be flipped the length of the ice. It's going to be set up on a tee here by Alec, who has been barely tested here so far this period, if at all. And the Cougars will look to bring it on back. They will gain the line and look to set up here. Outside rim, now a quick little switch off. They hand it offside of the cage. Whipped down through, and that's just going to be backhanded out. It didn't have enough to get out, though, as on the first attempt, as Johnson couldn't get it down, but it does end up being behind the netminder, Ellick. Here come the Cougars. First pass and carry on is smooth. They move it on and over the line. Looking for a shot, a quick little pass across, and that didn't connect, but good 2-man game there by Charles and Parento. Power play continues. They work it over to the near side. That's where Neufeld had it. She opens up her stick to give her a target again. Neufeld has it again. Neufeld a shot, and that got deflected or ended up just getting pushed to the corner. 52 seconds remain in the man advantage. 7:40 remain in the hockey game. Looking to dance on through. Good force there, as taken off the puck was Neufeld, and it's stolen here Good little wrap attempt. His time is going to come off the clock with the good work by Dorf. Now Dorf is going to be held, and that's a good job there as Dorf drew the holding call. It's a fair call by the officials here. So at the 12-minute and 37-second mark, we're going to go ahead and play some four-a-side hockey. So four-a-side hockey to begin. It's an offensive zone face-off here for the Bison. We'll have 33 seconds of the four-a-side, and then be about a minute and a half of power play time for the Bison. Draw going to be won by the Cougars. They will move behind the safety of their cage and now angle one up off the far side boards and redirect it out to center ice. Now they gain the red line and they gain the blue, but they gain it offside, and we will get a whistle and a face-off upcoming. Didn't really hear the linesman screaming much about off. Normally, something that we've noticed in a lot of the other games, linesmen being very vocal, telling the players what exactly is going on, and so that you don't get those offsides called. But it ended up being an offside call here anyway. Try to keep the flow of the game going as the puck here was moving over the middle, and the player behind her, she didn't realize obviously was where they were and where they were moving along. As this is going to come to the line, and that's going to end up being no icing because I think could have appeared like it was going to be played. But just to finish that thought, the player can't see it, so you need to communicate that to that player that they need to pull back. But no harm, no foul. Just a little something you might see going forward. Pass to the middle. Look out here. A chance saving the rebound. Loose in the slot. Cleared away, and now it could be a 3-on-1. Actually, one player back for the Bison, and a quick turn allowed more time and a good job to even up that rush. Here they come. The Bison have a minute of power play time and 6:23 left on the clock. They try to go inside, outside, and that didn't work, and this is going to be an easy clear as it's ripped the length of the ice. Coming out to play it will be the netminder Slater. She'll put it up on a tee, lead feed, gets out to center ice. Looking to control there was Bodie. She'll send it back in and have force Lost Speech back in there to set it up. Tapped off the near side boards. Big bounce. Clears out to center ice. Look out here. There's a rink-wide feed. They turn 3-on-2 over the line. Trying to get wide. Didn't like the drop pass opportunity. So number 7, Cone, has to just carry it in. She hands it on to Fisher below the goal line. Trying to center it through. Oh, and a kick save as the leg came out at the last second. There's a wind and fire, and that thing hit was a drive, and it actually hit the netminder right in the legs, and that thing flew up into the air, and quickly with the glove, it was grabbed by Alec. And then there was a collision in the corner, maybe a little bit of a stick tap that wasn't appreciated, but we part peacefully for now with 5:35 left on the clock. 42-17 is where the shots sit. 5-1 is where the score sits. Both of those numbers in favor of the Cougars. Bison now have it along the near side boards. They're going to feather it in deep. Their power play is over in 3 seconds and 2. 1 and now none, and we're back to five-a-side hockey. They do get a turnover to keep it in, and it's ripped rink wide. And now 3 Cougars come back the other way. Full speed ahead, carrying it along is Collier. She'll gain the line to the dot, and in a rising shot, and that is going to be grabbed with 5:09 to go by Slater. So an offensive zone face-off coming up here for the Cougars. It'll be in the far side circle, the left wing circle in their own end. .509 to go here, and that's going to be played around the near side boards. It's going to come all the way out to the center ice, to the center ice zone. Didn't make it to the center ice stripe as it was knocked down by Dorf. And now it's brought in by the Bison. Looking to dance through, a shot that didn't get home. Now dropping it back to the point. I don't know, it didn't get there though, cleanly by Johnson. It's soccered up ahead. Good follow-up here to keep it in further. 3-on-3 battle along the boards, and that puck's just going to be chipped down over to the near side corner. Backhanded ahead, and cleared to the line and out. Good job there to get it out to center ice by number 15 in white. That's Alderson, and it's played, and a shot on, and a save was made. Now they knock it ahead further to the Bison, out at center. Tapped on over to the near side boards. Grabbing it and moving on along. Full speed ahead as it's tapped around the wall and in. Heidi plays it around the corner. Then she poked it down, and it was nearly rolled right by her. Sent to the middle, and a good keep, if nothing else. There, it would have sprung an odd man rush, but Blight was able to keep it in. It's over to the near side. Puck off the boards, to his side, jousting for it there. Played up the near side boards, and it'll get to the line, not out. Maybe not really the line. Top of the circle is about as far as it made it. As they center it through the middle to the Cougars, and that's a backhand chance. Look out here, and they score. What a chance. They went back and forth with it, and the rebound was cleaned up as trying to get over was Slater, and I believe it's going to be Rink who should get credit for this goal, number 3 in white. If I'm reading the jerseys right. Time of this goal going to be the 16-minute, 11-second mark. And Rink's going to make it 6-1 in favor of the Cougars. Now they gain the line and fire it in again. It's going to come around the boards, kick around the bottom of the kick plate. Never really had enough to get Johnson there, as it's going to be played further. They will give Collier and Blight the assist, and now looking for more here. You got to kind of keep the pedal to the metal, because I believe goals are one of the factors that could come into play in pool play. So you don't really want to pull off. I mean, you hate to rub it in on anybody, but I believe one of the tiebreakers eventually gets to be goals scored, goals for. So, you can't really blame the Cougars for trying to keep it going. That's tied up on the red line. Dug out and played on back. Hansen sends it rink wide. That was stolen on a great read, and now they move back in. Parento drops it on off. Look out here. They step into one, and another save made by Slater. That save should be her 40th of the night, I believe. Shots are at 45-17. She's given up 6 goals, and they have not yet given her credit for a 46th shot. Keep an eye on that. A 40-save night, even if you give up a ton. Pretty impressive night, and I have been impressed so far with the netminder Slater. And don't be surprised if they steal one in pool play, even with their only 9 players they have. They move in, and a rising shot ended up hitting, I thought it hit the mesh netting. I guess not. Let's play on. They try to get it out to Dorf. That didn't connect. So the Cougars will now move it to the middle of the ice with room, time, and space, and a glove save. It was a nice job by Alderson to move into the slot, but a stop was made, and now they've got 47 shots on the board, giving the netminder Slater 41 saves in the hockey game. Offensive zone faceoff is going to be one on back. They look to move to the middle. Didn't like the angle, so peeling on back is going to be Haley Anderson. A box out here, collision along the boards. Puck just kind of rolling towards the front of the cage. And it's a nice hold in again, and a shot that Anderson put on. Or excuse me, that was 15 Alderson. Still on the offensive right now are the Cougars. They will look to wrap as they move it to the near side. Sticks up in the air for a pretended receiver. They run a quick little give and go, and it's back in control of number 8 in white. That's Blight. They tap it around the boards. Following up now is Collier. Controlled finally by the Bison as they're going to get it out to center ice. Tapped away, though, before they could gain the line, but it's going to be followed up and shot on in. Nice, easy little save made as it was put up on a tee by Ellick. Rolled on goal, and now pushing it to the far side here is going to be Slater. Poke to the line, it'll get out to center with 1:05 to go in this game. And an offside call upcoming. So the faceoff will be at center ice with 1:02 on the clock. And these two teams each having games tomorrow. Let's see if we can get you times here. Final minute of period 3. You hear the call throughout the rink here. As we take a look here, I want to make sure we get the right times and the right schools. As North Dakota State will have the late game here. We'll carry it for you. That is a 7:15 start time slated as they will play Loyola University Chicago. Meanwhile, the Assiniboine squad, they have the Bishops University squad. That game will be right before it at 4:45 for the start time. So each of these teams right back at it tomorrow, less than 24 hours away. We've got less than 24 seconds. If we want to be exact, it's 15 and counting to go in this one. Maybe one more rush up the ice here for the Cougars. They will gain the line and move it in wide. That's going to angle off the backboards with 7 seconds to go. Flipped on in further. Quick little give and go attempt did not work as it never found its way back to Bodie. And in 2-1, that's going to do it for this one. Final score 6-1 as the Cougars are going to go ahead and knock off the Bison. Thank you so much for joining us here, folks. Be sure you go to the ACHA YouTube channel to make sure you have all the games going. We are all set for tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.